like that, and that's considered mortgage fraud. So they have to be very careful. Refinancing after the divorce, that can be tricky too, because what if you don't qualify? Because now you have half the income or less than half the income, or something's changed from an income standpoint, more than likely. What I encourage people to do in this situation is get pre-approved in advance of the divorce. Know where you stand. Know that you can actually go through with the transaction, because there's nothing worse than ending up with a decree that says, I own the house and I have to give you $50,000 out of the house, and I'm supposed to refinance it and get it into my name only and do this one within X amount of time, and then I show up to do the lending and I find out I don't qualify. And now what happens, and this is what I see a lot of, is I can't qualify for the loan, so I don't get the loan, and then the ex is really pissed off at me. But then we sort of get caught up in life and we go about our business, and then 5 years from now the ex is trying to do something, and I've still got that mortgage that he's still tied up into. There are ways to qualify him beyond that with documentation, but he gets pissed off, he's frustrated, he wants me off, or he wants to get off right now, and he wants it done right now. And then they go back to that spouse and find out, oh, their situation today is even worse than it was 5 years ago when they couldn't qualify. So, it leaves a lot of opportunity, I guess, if you will, for people to not be able to move forward with their financial life because they're encumbered on this mortgage. And so really and truly the best option is sell the house, because that way you can divest yourself of everything. And what I tell people a lot is, you know what, sell the house before the divorce, get the equity, pay off all your joint debt, or as much as you can, and then whatever's left, take it and split it up however you're going to split it up. But that way you're not encumbered and you're not tied to that other person indefinitely, and then when you're still tied to somebody, you're subject to any default that they make. So you leave them with the house, they don't make the house payment. Well, if you're on the note, that's your credit too. And what happens in that situation is, let's say the person's not making their payment, the bank is mailing the notices to the house. If you don't live in the house, you don't know. And the next thing you know, you go to buy a car or open a credit card account and you find out that there's a delinquency on your mortgage, or worse, it's in foreclosure, or there's a bankruptcy going on. I mean, so that's why I always tell people that the easiest, cleanest thing is just get rid of the house.